So I'm sure you guys heard the big news today that, of course, the Classified Zombies map, our 4th Zombies map that's going to be coming inside Black Ops 4, is actually going to be confirmed to take place at the Pentagon. And this is some pretty big news, and I mean, it's just pretty big news. That's all I could say about it. But, of course, we don't know at this point if it's going to be a remaster. Well, we already know it's not going to be a remaster, but we don't know if this remake is going to actually consist of the exact same layout or not. I personally hope that's not the case because I didn't like the layout in the slightest of 5. I mean, it was awful in my opinion, but that's just me, and I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But what the real big bombshell, at least for me, was that we are going to be playing as, just guess, of course you guys already know, but we're going to be playing as the Ultimis characters. The Ultimis characters, the original characters. We're going to be at the Pentagon with them. What? How? What? I don't know any way, shape, or form of how this could possibly be happening, but one thing this may explain, and it probably will, at least I hope it does, is that when you actually play the original map of 5, you would see a picture of Richtofen on the wall. So maybe it's finally going to explain that. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of it maybe explaining. That, at least that's the only thing I can think of. But besides that, we're just at complete loss. And this is coming from somebody who, for the last few days, because it's been highly speculated that the map Classified was going to be taking place at the Pentagon. So what I did, I decided to go look up everything we could about 5 in the Pentagon. And I went through radios ever since Black Ops. I've went through quotes. I've went through the timeline itself. And I came to a conclusion that I have no idea why exactly we would be going back to the Pentagon. Why? I just can't. I don't care if it's happening before the events of 5 or after the events of 5. I can't think of a single reason at all. And just for the people who don't know exactly what's the storyline of 5 is, let me just kind of give you a quick overview. I mean, there's more to this, but I would argue that this is the easiest map in the world to understand. So, I mean, this would be pretty easy to summarize real quick. And, of course, the whole idea of it is that Operation Paperclip, a real event that actually happened, but, of course, it changed for 935 and all that stuff. But the idea is that they brought in a bunch of Nazi scientists, in this case, of course, being 935 scientists, and they brought them over there and had them work on a bunch of different things that they were working on in the past. And this includes the teleporters, ray guns, and the Winter's Howl, and then just a lot of different things. But, of course, the main thing they had them work on were the zombies themselves. And, of course, they did this, and they were very successful, as shown in 5, because the zombies took over. So they had to be pretty successful at doing that. And that is pretty much the idea of the map 5 and what exactly went on there. And just from that description, unless there's something major I'm missing with the 5 map and something that happened of very strong significance inside this map, that I just can't think of a reason why Ultimis would want to return here. I just think about everything inside that map. There's just nothing special about it. I mean, maybe Richtofen wants to, well, Ultimis Richtofen we're talking about here, but maybe he wants to save his 935 brethren. Maybe. I mean, this is Ultimis Richtofen, I repeat. Ultimis Richtofen. Not going to happen. So I honestly don't know why Ultimis would want to go here, and that's just the smallest problem. The why is the smallest problem, because that's going to be explained when we get the map, but the how is the bigger problem. Like, I just don't know how in any way, shape, and form Ultimis is going to get to the Pentagon, whether it be before or after the events 5. I just don't know, guys. I honestly don't know. Again, this is coming from someone who just spent the last day and a half just trying to figure out why exactly someone would want to go to 5 in the first place. And again, I just can't figure it out, because we just think about everything that they did throughout Black Ops, because that was their main storyline quest. All they did was just go through the maps that we saw them go through, just every single map that they went through, and then they just went to Moon. And the problem is that, okay, the main option for them, or I guess the most likely option for them to go from somewhere to 5, that, I mean, the best option is just from them to go from Moon to the Pentagon. I guess that would work because we don't know what happened to them after Moon, so this would give that really good opening for them to just say, hey, they went to the Pentagon. That's a good explanation for it, right? But the thing is, they said we're playing as the Ultimis characters, and if you remember, we're no longer the Ultimis crew by the end of the events of Moon, because if you guys remember during the Easter egg, Richtofen and Samantha, they kind of swap bodies, so I mean, I guess they could still call it the Ultimis crew if Richtofen's body is still there, and that may be what they're doing, but for some reason I doubt it. But let's just go with the assumption that they're still calling him the Ultimis crew. So how exactly does this work, and why was this left out of the timeline? Because thing is that during the events of Buried, Samantha was already brought back to the ether with Maxis. Of course, this is going through the Maxis timeline because, or I guess route, because that is the one that we believe to be his canon because of the timeline. But because of that, whoa, wait, what if it's actually not during the Maxis timeline? I just realized that. Well, that is a possibility. That is a possibility. I mean, okay, I shouldn't be talking about different things right here, but regardless, well, I mean, she was supposed to be with Maxis and Argartha, and then she realized how evil he was, and then went to Origins. That's pretty much what happened, so it doesn't really give her that much room to do anything, I guess, between the events of Moon and whenever Maxis picked her up from being inside Richtofen's body. I guess that could leave an option there. I mean, it might, maybe, I don't know, maybe, I guess, but again, like I said, that other idea that I just came up just a few seconds ago is that this is actually not taking place during the events of Maxis' endgame. And this is actually during the events of Richtofen's endgame, and she never actually left, I guess, Richtofen's body, and now she's still with the characters, and they didn't actually want to go to 5, and they were just ending up there because, I don't know, teleporters messing up or something like that, some weird thing like that. So that could be a better possibility, actually. That might actually be our best bet right now. It's the only thing I could think of, unless they went from Nevada, because we do know that they could. Well, I wonder if the world's going to be destroyed. No, it's probably not, because it was highly hinted at this is going to take place before the events of 5. So I don't know, maybe broken teleporters things is our best bet. I have no idea, but regardless, I'm just rambling here, guys. I do apologize if you're not a big fan of this zombie storyline rambling stuff, but I just don't know, guys. I would love to hear your theories on how this would all work, but one thing I want to leave you guys off with before I just start rambling again about random things, really, that's all we're doing here, but I want to leave you guys off with one thing that really reminded me of ever since I thought of this whole idea of Ultimis being a part of, or going back to 5, and it's this image right here. It was, of course, is the loading screen that we got during the, I guess, comic book season that for Call of Duty Zombies, and I want to draw your focus to the top left corner and probably be zoomed in for you guys, because as you guys can see, this is actually a mixture of the Primus and Ultimis crew, at least one Ultimis, but you can see there's Nikolai of the Primus characters, Dempsey of the Primus characters, Takio of the Primus characters, but right there in the middle next to Dempsey, you actually see Ultimis Richtofen. So maybe this is what we're going to be figuring out, or just experiencing throughout Black Ops 4. I have no idea, but I mean, they're going to the house. Maybe they're going to do something there. The world is fixed at the bottom of this, so I don't know. Maybe it is the events of something going on. I just don't know. Maybe it takes place before even Moon happened. I just don't have any ideas anymore. This is the problem with time travel, because you leave so many options, but it just makes it so difficult at the exact same time for people like me to figure out what's going on. But like I said, I'm just going to start rambling again, so I'll just go ahead and end the video here. But if you guys did enjoy the video and at least found it entertaining, I was going to say informative, because I mean, that's what I was going for, but I could tell you that this wasn't very informative. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video in any way, shape, or form, go ahead and do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and especially bell. But I'm going to go, and I will catch you guys in my next stream or video.